half of it has just become, have just believed in Christ and they have all been taken to heaven. What are you going to do? If Lucifer comes and look for more followers down here, will you go and replace those who have just ascended to heaven? Those are, doctrinal and things about it. But I need to tell ODM, there was KANU. And KANU, at one point, ruled with the former president, both Kenyatta and Moi, for a combined 39 years. We were under the rule of KANU. So ODM is not even more than 39 years, 20 years old ODM. So KANU today cannot even afford to have its party leader vie for a senatorial position. So I can tell you, if you continue with this thread, ODM is headed the KANU direction. And if you think us telling you that, wait a minute, there is a hole ahead of you, and you shouting at your top voice and telling us, wait a minute, it's me who is getting into the hole, not you. If you think we really care, you are going to ask for help when you're inside the hole. And as you come out, you'll have no legs and everything. I need to say something. There was an advert that was run, back in the days by Safaricom. And that particular advert had a Maasai man standing on top of a hill. And a gentleman approached him and came and asked for water because his car had broken down. But fortunately, he saw, the Maasai man saw an airtime, credit, those times we used to buy scratch cards. Yes. And he took it and said, mzuri sana. And then he told the gentleman, abana enda jia hiyo. Only for the man to follow that route and get eaten by, by lions. We are telling ODM, abana enda jia hiyo. And then they are busy running, helter-skelter, thinking that the direction they are going to is the right direction. They are going to be eaten. I can tell you for a fact. Fred, they are going to be eaten. ODM is telling us they are looking for power. Power, using power. In the last election in 2022, ODM seems to be forgetting too fast that they look for power using power. Uhuru Kenyatta was with them. He managed to garner more than 1 million votes for them in Mount Kenya only. They did not get power. They were defeated. Because the only way to look for power, as they purport to, as they have now described it, is through the people. You will never find power without the people in a democratic country like Kenya, where if you try to steal, people will take that seat from you by force. We saw it here. We have already, mic test has already been done. And I can tell you this, the government knows one thing particularly, that they do not have the numbers. Okay. All they are doing right now, it is to try, and gabble around and making sure. First and foremost, that retreat in Mombasa and the composition that was read by the Secretary General, who is not recognized by the registrar, by the political party tribunal, because they have even extended the freeze of Sifuna as the Secretary General of the ODM. And it is scared to amesoma vitu ambazo you cannot even tell what they are talking about, and then it all runs into 12 billion. Let me tell you, in any country, and if you want to build in a party, you must listen. You must not call the voices of your brother a dissenting voice without even listening to them. It's a contrary opinion, and they are telling you kuna shida pale. I don't think, why are you not keen in telling, in that Mombasa thing, I had told them in one of the, talk show here, we are with you here. And I said, if you leave Mombasa with half chungwa, you are done. If you can leave Mombasa, I'm not advising Odede here.
Do you see any possibility of repairing that chungwa?
Well, that's my point. The only way to repair that chungwa, and it can happen, it is to first stop those negotiations. They are saying that they are still negotiating with the government. They are fixated in negotiating with William Ruto and his government. In fact, ni kwa sababu waliuza chama. Deposit walikula, wameongezewa ingine. So they cannot be able to deviate from that course. And I want to tell you, the numbers don't lie. The tyranny of numbers don't lie. Odede can become as annoyed as possible as far as advices is concerned. But I need to remind Odede that we have been there when ODM have lost one election after another, after another, after another. Lost, not won. I'm talking about losing. So even this one, and I'll give you a very good, perfect example, because he spoke and I did not interrupt, and he spoke for long when we touched his
It's because he attended the
absolutely.
retreat.
We also attended virtually. These days you can attend physically or virtually.
Oh, you attended the retreat as well?
Oh, we attended virtually because they were briefing media and briefing everybody after every 10 minutes. So I need to tell you something. ODM is not what it was. And whether you believe me or not, this is a reality that can be checked by a kindergarten going kid there. They do not have Kisi. Even that deputy party leader, Simba Arati, he is in trouble. And I can guarantee you that. Wait until and see the kind of dust he's going to see when he's trying to defend that seat in Kisii. Okay. Because he's moving against the grains of what the people want. Your strength in politics is as good as the people who follows you and the people who believes in you. In this country, you cannot purport to be so, what we call, we are so democratic and whatever, that we do not even subscribe to the, what I would call the community or tribal voting and community thinking way of political alienation. Why? If you don't have Kisii, they are away, they are on their way out, and they have already left. If you do not have the Kambas who have stuck with you, you have even had Kalonzo Musyoka as your running mate twice in a row. And those Kambas who are voting to the man for the Raila Odinga, you don't have them. You've already lost the Luhya nation by actually crucifying, beating Otsotsi in the middle of town in a cafeteria. Munatwanga ye vizuri sana. Then you come again and make the same mistake, and then you chase away Sifuna and you say, we do not want. You are now, reducing a former bigger party. You are reducing a former bigger party into a very small regional party. And I want to finish by telling you, in this country, the presidential election is regionally won, whether you want to believe that or not.
Okay.
The regional combination, let me finish. The regional combination dictates the numbers because people move and vote regionally. And you've seen that from the results of the past results. As we speak right now, if ODM does not get the likes of Sifuna back into their square, the coalition they have already signed, Fred, let me finish. The coalition they have already signed.
We need to bring Mukai into
UDA,
this.
Yes, I am now just trying to compensate.
No. I only gave him more time because he was in that retreat. I am donating
the coalition.
He was in that retreat.
You have spoken is way beyond
the coalition they are forming with UDA have already lost even before it started.
Okay, Mukai, because what you're talking about and what came from that retreat is a possibility that even the cracks within the party ODM could be mended somewhat. That, yes, they may have gone, they may disagree.